The Wisconsin Institute of Law and Liberty filing a civil rights complaint against Amazon over a race-based program Amazon's been promoting for sellers who use their site. This had Amazon executives quietly scrambling around to hide evidence of it afterward, apparently. So this has Will calling on the Trump Department of Justice to investigate, and joining me now to talk about it is Dan Lennington. He's the deputy counsel at Will. Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on, Jay.
Sure. Let's start with just how this civil rights complaint originated, because you at Will just can't go around suing people. You need people who come to you to say, I've got a complaint, I've got standing to sue, I feel I'm being harmed by this. So Amazon's been promoting a program called the Black Business Accelerator for those people who want to sell their stuff on Amazon?
Yes, since 2021, for businesses that want to sell on Amazon, they have been giving thousands of dollars of credit, advertising credit, all sorts of promotional credits to businesses that want to sell products. But if you're not black, you're not eligible for the program. So if you're Asian or Hispanic or white and you want to sell on Amazon, you're completely excluded from this program. We had been trying to challenge this program and had actually talked to a number of potential clients over the past 4 years to sue Amazon, but there was quite a bit of concern that, hey, if I sue Amazon, they're going to kick me off the platform. I won't be able to sell anything.
Sure.
There was an arbitration clause that prevented people from suing. They'd have to go through arbitration. So Amazon really insulated this program, and it had 3 times had been tried to been sued by other plaintiffs in federal court. Those had all been dismissed.
Wow.
And so when the Trump administration came in office, we thought it would be something great to bring to them so that they can investigate, since Amazon is such a large federal contractor also.
Well, and it's your contention that based on an important Supreme Court ruling about 2 years ago, and based on President Trump's orders ending DEI, this is an illegal program, flat out, unconstitutional.
Absolutely. When you contract with someone to become a seller on your platform, there's a federal civil rights law. It's been on the books since 1866 that prevents race discrimination in contracting, and this would certainly fall under that. And so people who are being hired to do a job, people who are contracting to do a job, race can play no part in that. And although previous administrations have sort of let this law go dormant and people have been allowed to do so-called affirmative action or DEI, the Supreme Court has made clear in 2023 that race can never be used as a negative against someone, never can be used as a stereotype, and the courts are going to hold the companies accountable that use race in any way to discriminate against individuals or businesses. We're
talking with Dan Lennington of the Wisconsin Institute of Law and Liberty. I know that will often start with kind of a cease and desist letter to Amazon or allow someone to sort of correct their behavior. Did you just send them a letter? Did you file the civil rights complaint right off? What led them to scrambling around to try to hide things recently?
Well, Amazon had been, as I said, defending this program in court for over 3 years in different lawsuits, and they had been made public statements just unabashedly defending their discrimination against all of their sellers. So we filed a civil rights complaint with the U.S. Department of Justice Civil Rights Division, which is now run by Harmeet Dillon. And then the complaint was also released to Breitbart News. Breitbart News then called Amazon for a comment. And the reporter reports, and you can read this at BreitbartNews.com, that while the reporter was on the phone with the Amazon Communications Department, the websites that hosted these programs, the Black Business Accelerator, started to were deleted in real time. Amazon was literally scrubbing the website in real time as a reporter was asking them, hey, you're a huge federal contractor. The president has said that federal contractors can't discriminate based on race. Why are you still doing this? And as the comms person was apparently bumbling on the other side of the phone, all the evidence was disappearing. right in real time, and this is all reported at Breitbart.
Yeah, and I've got a cut here. I've got a quote here from someone, a spokesperson at Breitbart. And then Amazon apparently said, "Well, no, we're done with this program. After reaching our initial 4-year commitment, we integrated the learnings and best practices into our broader efforts to attract and support small businesses." And Amazon, the company further said, the sellers can no longer apply for the program. There's no other similar program. So just all of a sudden, magically, this program was no longer in existence. Does that satisfy you at Will, or does this have to be taken further now?
Well, if somebody is discriminating based on race for a period of 4 years and hurting people and individuals and violating civil rights laws, it's no defense to say, well, I stopped doing it. This is something that has harmed people in the past. It was wrong in the past. The Department of Justice can still investigate what happened and why this happened, and did they have a defense to what happened, and who can be remedies, who can get some remedy for what has happened to them in the past. We do this all the time in the court. Just because somebody stops doing the bad thing doesn't mean that they're off the hook.
Yeah, good point. I know that some people will be asking this question, so I'll ask it of you. Amazon has been running this program, as you say, since 2021 as a way to promote black businesses. Some black business owners have probably been helped by it. So what's your response to people who would say, what's the harm? I mean, historically, African Americans have been discriminated against, so why go after this well-meaning program?
Racism is never well-meaning. Discrimination is never well-meaning. Discrimination always hurts someone. You can't make up for past discrimination against a group of people that have happened in the last 100 years or 200 years or longer by injuring everyday small business owners. One of the particular people who called us so concerned about this was a young Hispanic woman who knit little dolls, and she wanted to sell them on Amazon. And she couldn't get into the Black Business Accelerator. Now, how is telling that woman that she can't get $1,000 in online seller credits because she's a Hispanic woman, how is that going to somehow cure Jim Crow and slavery and segregation and all the things that happened in the past? How is that going to cure all the racial disparities that exist today? How is that going to help anybody to tell a small business woman, you can't participate in this because you are the wrong color of your skin, and I'm sorry, but you're just going to have to deal with our discrimination of you because we think that in some sort of cosmic justice sense, we can sort of help everybody by discriminating against you. That's not how this works.
That's a very good answer to that question. Have you heard anything back yet from Harmeet Dillon? She's Donald Trump's Assistant Attorney General.
Yes, we are directly in contact with that office, and I'll tell you this: Amazon is not the only minority business program that's going on in corporate America. There are ones that are going on right now here in Wisconsin. We hear about them all the time. We have got complaints about them. Companies that are worth billions of dollars that are in your listening area, that you can just go on their website and you can type in minority supplier program. You can type in minority benefits, you can type in black-owned benefits, and you can see that they exist right now. And those companies are subject to federal civil rights laws, and they're subject to investigation by the U.S. Department of Justice, and they're subject to discrimination laws and the Civil Rights Act. And so companies should be careful about their future liability and understand that race discrimination will never be tolerated by us at Will, and I'm sure won't be tolerated by the Trump administration going forward.
Yeah, in any form. Well, it's good to know. It's good to know that there's this sounds like the beginning of this effort rather than a one-time deal. As long as I have you on the phone, I also thought I'd get your take on Friday's Supreme Court ruling that verifies Americans cannot engage in reverse discrimination either. It's kind of the same topic here. I would think this is bound to open up new avenues of litigation for you and Will as well. No?
Yes, and we're just, we're very happy. The last series of cases have all been unanimous and actually written by liberal justices. Justice Jackson wrote this, who was just Joe Biden's appointee, and she confirmed that under Title VII of the Civil Rights Act, that white women in that particular case didn't have to make some special showing in order to get a trial. The Sixth Circuit, which is based out of Cincinnati, was putting an additional burden on whites in order to bring a case, and straight people to bring a case of discrimination. And Justice Jackson and a unanimous Supreme Court confirmed that our civil rights laws apply equally to everybody, and people are treated as individuals. They're not treated as members of groups, whether they're members of sexual identity groups or members of racial groups or ethnic groups. Individuals have rights, and they have rights against discrimination when they're the victims.
Dan Lennington, Deputy Counsel for the Wisconsin Institute of Law and Liberty. Thanks so much for being on today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.